Today we're going to do some confidence work that's going to involve stepping up and stepping off of stuff. Hi, yeah, you want to check out the garage? And because it is in the mid 80s, we always want to be really wary about what the temperature is, especially for a thicker coated dog like a golden retriever. Please excuse the state of my garage. My ex is moving out currently. Yeah, I smell stuff. There's lots of smells. All sorts of smells. And I'm just going to let her sniff around, get a quick bearing for where she is for a couple minutes. Yeah, you want to check out stuff over here? Yeah. Yeah, and she can hear my dogs in the house. And the purpose of doing this confidence work is not only to help her build muscle tone and like specific areas and work specific muscles, because when she moves, she looks stiff in her back end. She looks like she almost has like a rounded back end, and the legs come up underneath her a little bit too far. I want to help her stretch her out because, you know, dogs don't know how to do yoga, and we can't just say, here, stretch these back muscles. We have to help them learn how exactly to do that, right? Yeah, that's a cool stuff, huh? Like I said, yeah, we have plenty of water here. And we also have the garage, which has this nice cool concrete floor, right? It's about 10 degrees cooler in this garage than it is out there. Yeah, do you want some water? No, that's fine. And one of the purposes of this confidence work is not only to help her build the confidence and stretch the muscles, but also it is going to help her focus and engage with us in situations that are distracting. I like that she's nice and quiet and just kind of ignoring the fact that my dogs are in there barking like hooligans. Yeah, check out the storage pod. Cool, right? Yeah. Now I've got some nice tasty beef liver here in my freeze-dried beef liver here in my bag. Alright, because we want to use that really, really high quality treat, right? And our dog gets to pick, yes, what kind of reward is really, really high value for them. Like Nala's favorite things, she loves this beef liver and she is food motivated, definitely. Nala, but she also loves physical affection, right? And this leash may be a little bit long. That's okay. Sit. Get the pollen off your pretty face. Take it. Good girl. And we're going to start. That's okay. She can just walk past it. That's all right. I'm just going to step up on it. And I'm going to invite her. I am going to shorten this leash up. Give me just 1 second here. Hi, sweet, sweet. Hi, sweet, sweet girl. Sweetheart. So now we have less leash for me to have to deal with in my hands because I'm filming with one hand and I've got a treat in the other. That is okay if she steps around it. Good. Her front ankles are just kind of hitting it. Good. She thought about it. We reward effort, right? We're learning something new. And we're going to reward the baby steps, right? And I'm going to put one foot up on it. This thing is not scary. You want to smell it? Yeah. Good. I'm going to bring the treat closer to the object. Yeah, so she can get a look at the object itself, right? That's okay. I'm going to step on it again. Because she thought about stepping on it a second ago. That's okay. Good girl. Come on. Good. She's touching it, but I want just a little bit more. That's okay. See how even with a really short yet loose leash here, I can still get tangled up? That's okay. Let's walk. Good girl. We're just going to walk away for a second. She's panting. It's warm out here, but also that's kind of like an anxious pant. Good. You see the tail. She's nice and relaxed, kind of in the body, but she's still kind of wary. She says, I don't know exactly what's going on here, but that's okay. That's okay. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Come on. You can do it. Yay, Nala! Good girl! And I'm going to do right here what's called a jackpot reward. I'm going to pop 4 to 5 treats in her mouth one at a time, back to back. And that way she knows that's exactly what I wanted. Good girl. She kind of stepped up and over it, and she stepped on my foot instead of on the box itself. That's okay. She kind of jumped over it. That's all right. She went over top of the box with her body. All I wanted. Fantastic. We like to reward really small steps like that, especially when we're working with a more nervous dog. We want to really consistently reinforce what we like. Come here, beautiful. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. And see how she's just kind of distracted? That's okay. We're going to help with that. And this is going to help. The more that we can engage, yes, ma'am. The more that we can engage with our dogs, the more that they are going to want to engage with us, right? And without them engaging with us willingly, we don't have their attention. They have to do it because they want to. You can't force an animal, dog, horse, human being, or otherwise. You can't make them do something. It's okay, I'm going to stop moving because she's just following me at this point. She's like, where are we going? Look. Come on. Come on. Nope. And I'm just going to put my finger on that line, that leash. Good girl. Just to make sure she can't quite go all the way around me because this box isn't going to hurt you. Come on. And there's no tension on that leash here, right? Nice and loose. Come on, Nola. Come on. Good girl, come on. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. And see how I'm kind of trying to lead her up on it horizontally so she steps up on it instead of jumping over it. Good sit. See how close that treat is to her nose? We're using it as a lure, right? Come on. Good girl. Good girl. One foot's up there. Oh my goodness. What a good girl, Nala. What a good girl, Nala. Good girl. And you see out here, instead of a treat, I'm just using my I'm using physical praise by petting her, and then I'm using that verbal praise by talking to her. Good girl. All right, come on. Good girl. Let's go this way. Good girl. And I'm still engaging with her, right? Good girl. Good girl. Yeah. See how she kind of keeps looking back at me? I like that. Good girl. And I'm just kind of running around. You can do this in your yard. You can do this in your driveway. You can even do this in your house. Come on. Come on. Good. Well, if you have a good girl, if you have a fireplace in your house, a mantle is a great place, or like a hearth. A hearth is a great place to teach a dog how to step up and step down because it's just like already built in, and generally it's not more than about a foot from the ground. And if she were a smaller dog, she would need something shorter. But, you know, she's 60-ish, give or take, pounds. You need to poop? Yep, good girl. And that's also why it's an important reason to take a break every now and again. Let them walk around and stop doing the actual activity. Because they may need to go to the bathroom. Good. Good girl. This is my yard. I'll scoop that up later. Good girl. So because this is difficult to do with two hands, and if you have any questions, you're always welcome to send me a text message. Good, 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 good. But now I'm going to see if I can get her, now that she's understanding what it is that I want her to step up onto the box. And I'm not going to say anything when I ask her to do it. I'm just going to lure her up at least 24 times. See how she's interested? She's like, oh, cool things come from when I step on this box. Yeah. What's you think? I'm going to flip this leash on the other side of her so she doesn't step on it. That's okay. Oh my goodness, good girl. Good girl. And she didn't step and stay on it. That's okay. We just get a couple treats. That's a mini jackpot. That's not really a term, but I like to call it that. Good girl. How beautiful you are. That's okay. I don't want her to jump over it. So see, now that we rewarded and she did exactly what we wanted that one time, now we can refine what she's doing. Because like one time I praised her really heavily for just jumping over it, right? And she goes, I'm going to try that again. Well, you showed me that you're no longer scared to step up directly onto the box, so I'm going to ask you for a little bit more. I'm going to ask for something a little bit more specific. You know what I'm saying? I want your front feet up on the box. Yeah, you have pollen all over your face now. That's okay. Right here. Good girl. I'm gonna jackpot that. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I'm gonna see if I can get a still shot of that pretty, look. Oh my goodness. What a pretty baby. See how high her head is right now? We're gonna step off. Good girl. Good girl. And I did just say the word with it that time just because it impulsively happens sometimes. But words don't mean anything to our dog until we connect an action. Yes, ma'am. Until we connect an action with that word, right? Because they don't speak English. And you can speak any language to a dog. You want some water? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you hear my voice? Yep, that's Titan. What you think? Good girl. Yeah, get you some water. Because dogs don't sweat, it's really important for them to have a cool place to walk into. A shaded area is best. Something fully enclosed like a garage, obviously something that has air conditioning in it, good, because dogs will overheat far faster than we do. And it's it's mid 80s, it's 83, 85 degrees out here, good girl. And I'm just gonna let her walk around and we're gonna go a little bit slow, right? Because I'm just still letting her check it out. Notice how she's not really, yes ma'am. Anytime I see her glance at me, good. Even if I just see it out of the corner of my eye, good. I'm going to acknowledge it because I like that, right? It's just like if another person does something that you like, you want to let them know that you liked what they did so that they can do it again. Because our dogs can't read our minds. They can do something relatively close and they can smell our body chemicals change. But our dogs can't actually read our minds. Yeah, you want to sniff that? That's fine. We don't ask for perfection, right? We ask for, I'm sorry, excuse me, I got distracted there in my mind. We don't ask for perfection. We ask for acknowledgement. We ask for the dog to willingly cooperate with what we're asking of them. Yes, ma'am, shake it off. Good girl. And you see how she just doesn't want to stand still? I'm just going to plant myself in this one spot. By the way, yes, that is my Chihuahua inside making that sound. She literally sounds like she's screaming. Good girl. And I'm just going to kind of pivot right here, right? Because a dog being able to hold and just sit still, I don't know about you, but I like to take my dogs hiking. I like to take my dogs on picnics. I like to take my dogs up to the mountains, and we don't have a fence up at the mountain place. But what we do and what we can have is a dog that's willing to see how she just wants to walk away from me. It's not going to happen. And you can do this, yes ma'am, in your yard. In your yard. Good girl, Nala. Good girl, Nala. Really, really heavily praise when she comes and sits by you like that and just sits or stands still. We like that a lot. We like that because we have to have the patience to have the impulse control to make sure that a dog is paying enough attention in a distracting environment to want to come back to us, right? Good girl. Because I know I'm guilty of it. I'm a person with chronic anxiety and I think a lot. So, sometimes my mind just starts going and, sometimes I'm driving, sometimes I'm walking out in the woods, whatever, but I'll get however far, it'll be 20, 45 minutes later. Hi. And, I'm still aware of where I am, but vaguely. But if someone were talking to me, I probably couldn't hold a conversation when I'm that distracted. Dogs are the same way. And when we're working with a more distractible dog or a more anxious dog, a more high energy dog, that's okay for them. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is okay for them to want to be distracted. A dog is like an eternal 6-year-old, right? Which is one of my favorite ages of children. Good, 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 because they're so much fun. They learn so much and they learn so quickly, right? A dog is the exact same way. And like with a child or like with another human being, we can't expect them to understand us unless we're communicating to them what we want in the appropriate way that they understand. And that's where 99% of training issues come in, is the owner simply just does not know how to communicate with the dog. And sometimes, like right now, good girl, I'm communicating what I want by just stopping my feet. I'm communicating to her that I just want her to come back to me when I stop walking. Good girl. And now we're going to go back to the blocks. Like I said, this is a great, great, great exercise. Yes, ma'am. To do in your house, in your yard. You can do this walking up and down the street. You can do this exercise anywhere, and you can do it with or without a leash. So like if I didn't have a leash on this dog right now, we'll pretend that you're in your house or in your yard. And when it's a completely safe environment, you don't have her on a leash, right? You have treats in your hand, first of all. Because like I've said before, we always have to have incentive. We have to have incentive. You wouldn't do your job for free. Hi, this is her job. You are so beautiful. And we cannot expect an animal to do the job for free. Let's walk. Whoa. Good girl. So she's kind of paying attention there. Yeah, and then she was paying 100% attention. Oops. You all right? I am trained in canine CPR, by the way. And first aid. Let's walk. Good girl. See, you just didn't chew that. Do you see how she's right here? Yes. Yes, she likes the beef liver. Let's walk. And I'm not going to punish that little, like, spring up off the ground. She's just excited. She's just got energy, right? I'm going to stop. Good girl. So if I didn't have a leash on her right there, if I were in your house or in your yard, that's okay. She can walk away and there's no reprimand, right? There's no consequence to her being curious over there. Good. But as soon as she notices that I've stopped, and you can even give her a little like a good girl. Make that kissy sound. You can also make the cluck sound. Good girl. Let's walk. Good. And this is where we're communicating, right? Nala, sit. Good girl. Nala, take it. Nala, walk. Nala, what? Good girl. And the automatic sit is okay. I do not mind that at all. Because let's pretend like we were at a crosswalk or something. If she were to sit down, or like we're about to cross the road, if I stop and she sits down, that's the safest place for her to be, right? Is right here beside me. Good girl. I'm just going to pet her, let her think. The wind's getting up, stuff's kind of blowing around in the trees. Say, yeah, that's all right. Good girl. Let's walk. Good girl. See, you see, as soon as my hand went away, she's like, oh, you're not touching me anymore. What do you need? I love that. Golden Retrievers are absolutely phenomenal dogs. They're so endearing, they're so empathetic, and they're so kind. What? And she's incredibly intelligent. I've seen goofy, like derpy type of Golden Retrievers before. And sometimes you have the best of both worlds. She's just beautiful. You are just beautiful, aren't you? Let's walk. What do you think about? Yes! Yes! Do you see how when we start with the smaller one and we go nice and slow, the bigger one is easier, right? That second one is easier. Good girl. Come on. Good job. Step up. Oh, so good. Come on. Let me see if I can get her to stand up on it, right? Good girl. She may not think it's big enough. She may think it's not big enough, but my big boy, that's okay. Good girl. Sit. Let's walk. My big dog Captain, he's 80 pounds and he can fit up on these when they're horizontal like this. Come on. So I know she can. She just thinks she can't. And I may be confusing her trying to flip that leash out of her way. So I'm just gonna, yeah, you're smart. Good girl. How beautiful. Take it. Good girl. Nala. Sorry, I'm taking still shots. Good, look at me. Good, can you back? Good girl. Good girl. Let's run. Yeah. Good girl. Good girl. Say so fun. Good girl. Say so fun. Say so fun. Good girl. Do you see how she enjoys this? Good. We like that. Dogs love when we engage with them. And we cannot expect them to engage with us if we don't engage with them, right? Why would you pay attention to a person that's not paying attention to you? Why would your dog pay attention to you if you're not paying attention to them? You know? God, we can't just expect our dogs to speak our language. We have to be willing to learn theirs in the effort to communicate, right? Good girl. And our body language, our tone, good. And our attitude, a positive attitude really, really does go a long way with a dog. Not just being cheesy, but dogs can smell chemical changes in your body. That is why they are able to be service animals like diabetic, migraine alert dogs, stuff like that. People with low blood pressure have service dogs because that dog can smell the chemical change good in the person before the person has a physical response. Good girl. Step up. Oh my goodness, so good. So good. It's okay that she didn't stop up there. Good girl. Good girl. Step up. That's okay. I would like her to pause. So like I said, I'm just going to be a little bit more specific. I'm going to refine what she did the first time. Good. And I'm going to get her attention. Good. And I'm going to get that treat right in front of her nose. Good. Good. The closer the treat is to her, good, the better of a lure it is, right? Let's walk. So like when you're fishing, the bait's just in the water on the hook. That's your lure, right? It's just, so if I just got a treat over here, what is this? This is nothing, right? But if she stops walking, if I get right here, even though there's nothing in that hand, I'm closer to her face and I'm closer to her, so I have more of her attention naturally, right? Like if someone were trying to talk to me from somewhere over there, like by that big tree, I don't know they're talking to me unless they yell my name specifically and I say, Nala. Yes, ma'am. And if she were to have not responded to that name, that's okay. We just stop, we get closer to her, and we lure her to us. Good. And if we do have to go like walk over and get her, that's okay. We just need to take it back a step because that means she's not understanding what we want. Dogs never do things without a reason. Dogs aren't spiteful. Dogs do not ignore things on purpose. I call it selective hearing, but really your dog is just distracted or they don't understand what you're asking of them. And both of those things are on us. Every training error is on the human being. Good girl. Because we're the adults in this. We are their parent, right? We have to show them how to live with people in a way that is acceptable to us. Because the way a dog wants to act, 9 out of 10 times the behavior that they want to display is not the behavior that we want. Good. Good. So instead of saying her name, I'm making that sound, right? And then she's like, oh, that sound comes from you. Yes, it does. And I'm going to give just a little tension and release. Good girl. A little bump, bump on that leash. Bump, bump. And I want to do it in a rhythmic motion. Good girl. 1, 2. You can even count it if you'd like. Good girl. I just want to keep her moving. Good. Good girl. Good. And you can see when that leash gets tight, that's the only time there's tension on it, right? Otherwise, it's nice and loose. It has a lot of flop. Because if we teach our dog that they have to walk with a leash like this, that's no fun for anybody. That hurts their shoulders, that hurts our arms, that hurts our fingers, that hurts our hand. Good girl. Good girl. And it's not good for them because tension creates tension. And we don't want a tense dog. We want a nice, relaxed animal. Nice, calm, confident, relaxed dog. A balanced dog. Good girl. Good girl. Cool. Good. That's okay. I want to see if she'll do it without a bribe. Whoop. Good girl. Good girl. And if she had just flat refused, that's okay. Because, excuse me. Woo. Thank you. Thank you for your concern. Thank you. Good girl. She's like, what just happened? I sneezed. It's fine. Good. Because if a dog isn't willing to do what we're asking them to do, we need to ask them to do something simpler. So if she hadn't been paying attention right then, right, I would have said, hey, Nala, sit. A good girl. And that's what we would have done to end, right? Because we want to end on a positive note. We don't want to get frustrated and just stop. Because if we're frustrated, I can almost guarantee you your dog is frustrated and or confused. Do you want some more water? Good. Good girl. You do so good, pretty